Does anybody want to guess what movie I am going to talk about today? Mickey 17 was one of my most anticipated movies of this year. Originally last year, this movie has been moved so many times and it's finally here. And Bong Joon-ho is so back. He's so back. He couldn't miss if he wanted to. Mickey 17 really, truly lived up to what I wanted it to be. If you're unaware, Mickey 17 tells the story of Mickey Barnes, an expendable employee who is sent on a human expedition to colonize the ice world of Niflheim. He's continuously sent on these dangerous missions, and after one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. However, with one regeneration, things go very, very wrong. I don't think this movie is going to be for everybody. It's very, very weird, but it worked for me. I had a great time, and I think if you like Bong Joon-ho and you are familiar with the breadth of his work, I think you will enjoy this outing. We are taking everything he loves tackling and kind of throwing it all into one sci-fi blender. We are tackling religious fanaticism. We are tackling colonization. We are going after late stage capitalism and really looking at how governments and corporations value product and advancement over its people. Repeatedly, we are seeing Mickey being used for scientific advancement. We are seeing him be the guinea pig in new environments to see if the atmosphere is safe. We are seeing him literally being used to test and perfect vaccines for the rest of the colony. At one point during the movie, Mickey is stuck at the bottom of a chasm. This is in the trailer. And someone goes down to get him and is like, oh, thank God I came down here, and picks up a flamethrower, and he's like, it would be such a shame if this went to waste, and leaves Mickey. Bong Joon-ho's signature wit and biting satire is fully on display here as we watch these people continuously exploit this man and work him literally to death. I just feel like this movie is a really perfect movie for this specific moment in our political climate. I'll get more into the performance, but Mark Ruffalo's character, Kenneth Marshall, is a disgraced senator who is kind of leading this colonization expedition. He has a very passionate and supportive base of followers who love to don red hats. I'm not kidding. He's really seeking to start a perfect colony. He wants this new planet, this new civilization to be perfect and up to a very specific protocol. I'm talking eugenics. I'm talking white supremacy. He is a white supremacist. It's very scary. Director Bong also dives into this fear of the other. I won't get too into detail because I think it is a very crucial plot point, but he really tackles this idea of what happens when we don't make the effort to understand people we are not familiar with, understand things we are not familiar with, and how that leads to chaos, confusion, and disaster. I don't think this is Bong Joon-ho's tightest script. I think a lot of his other past films are a little bit tighter, but I do think everything is intentional. I can't really think of anything I would cut. There are a lot of balls thematically in the air, and there is a lot of exposition as we build out this world and this character very thoroughly, but I do think it is all necessary. I would urge anyone to go into this movie with an open mind and a patient mind, and I do think it rewards your patience for just sticking with it and committing to it. And also, side note, as it's building out this world, it is very funny. The jokes are hitting. Bong Joon-ho's always been funny, but the jokes are really hitting in a very disarming way in this. I've long maintained Robert Pattinson is one of the most exciting actors of his generation, and I think Bong Joon-ho just lets him loose to prove exactly why that is. This is his most electric and zaniest character work yet. We've all heard the goofy voice in the trailer, but I think there's so much physicality to his work as Mickey. He really just loses himself in this role. I also think he does great work when he's playing different Mickeys interacting. That's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer. They have very distinct personas and they are different enough from each other, but they do feel unified and they are still coming from the same cloth, so to speak. Just really impressive work. I would show this performance to anyone who doubts Robert Pattinson's a great actor and just be look at the range he's giving with just this one film. He nails every comedic beat. I think he does a great job at making Mickey this goofy, silly, over-the-top character, but it never overshadows the heart of Mickey. I found myself really empathizing with Mickey and really, really rooting for him. The sympathy is so earned. You cannot help but feel for this guy who is exploited time and time again. I was worried that maybe Mickey would be a bit repetitive and just become this like sniveling, pathetic character that I got a little tired of, but that's not the case. Like, he's really fun and dynamic to watch, and he does have like this person underneath the voice and the goofy physicality that you really can't help but root for. Naomi Ackie is about to have a great year between this and Sundance's Sorry Baby. Just those two performances alone, she is showing range. She is such a powerhouse in this. Sorry Baby is so quiet and close to the heart, whereas this is like really big and bold, and she really gets to let go, especially in that third act. I loved her. She really knows how to command a scene, even when she doesn't have like a lot to do in that specific scene. You just can't take your eyes off of her, and she's got it. She's got presence. I love her so much. Been like slowly, gradually just like falling in love with her as a performer, and this one I was like, wow, she really is that girl. She's got it. I mentioned Mark Ruffalo's character earlier. He's kind of continuing his like silly, cartoonishly sinister streak from Poor Things, and I love it. I really love this for him, this stage where he's like really playing these characters. This character is unsettling because it does feel a bit ripped from the headlines, but it's never too much. Like, you will watch him and be like, I know who that's supposed to be, but it's not distracting. And it is really fun watching him and Toni Collette's dynamic as he kind of bumbles his way through being a leader with this much more competent, sinister woman in his ear. Toni Collette, really eats up every moment she's like hanging on his arm. She's really fun to watch, and she's always kind of doing something. Even if like she's not the focus of the scene, she's always kind of locked in. Overall, the ensemble's great. There's a lot of like tertiary characters who are also fun and have a lot of verve to them. It's a very like rich population in this world. I don't want to get too into specifics and spoil anything, but we've seen Bong Joon-ho with The Creeper on Stephen Colbert, and I just want to say, all I'm going to say is that is my son, and I love him. This movie is so zany and exciting. I really just had a great time start to finish. I'm someone who struggles with slower paced movies, but this really held my focus and attention. I was never distracted. I was never bored. I was always like locked in and entertained. I think the humor and the comedy lands perfectly. The commentary really works. I've really loved seeing Bong Joon-ho continue this trend that I've noticed as his work progresses, where he takes these themes he's really passionate about, right? Like classism, problems with capitalism, climate crisis, government corruption, etc. And as he's kind of grown as a filmmaker, he's kind of started taking all of these themes and interwoven them and really showcased how they interact and inform one another, and I think this is no different. He's really showcasing the intersectionality of a lot of these issues that are very relevant in the world today. Great performances, great vision. It is very weird. I kind of understand why maybe Warner Brothers was having a tricky time figuring out how to market this, but I'm so glad it's finally here. I really want to read the book now. I can't lie, I have not read the book prior to seeing this, but I really want to seek that out now. I just think Bong Joon-ho is such an exciting filmmaker. We're always like craving like these distinct voices, these refreshing stories. I really hope people go out and support this. This is one of the first great movies of 2025. I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I will be interested to see it again and start to like really digest it. It is a lot to take in on the first time, but I just know I loved it. So yeah, go see it. As you can tell, it's my new personality. Make sure to do all the things you're supposed to do with a YouTube video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me everywhere, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!